from Gung Ho. What do you call two firearms on a one-night stand? A one and a gun.
さて、ということで、次のゲームのダストフォースデラックスですが、解説の方がいらっしゃいません。
We've got
ということで、
$20
解説の方を募集したいのですが、誰かやったことある人はいませんかね。
That's another one of the incentives you can put your donations towards. The language chosen in the game Simpsons Hit and
こん
Run.
にちは。
Currently, German is leading the charge there, with French in second and English in third. You have a favorite
まあ、
language
いません
option
よ
there?
ね。さすが
Another
に。
option to put your donations towards. Some other options available are the character
ダスト
choice
フォー
in
スデラッ
Castlevania
クス
Bloodlines.
で
Currently,
す
John
が、
Morris
今
is
現
leading
在
that
Steam の
with
ページ
Eric
を
in
開いたと
second,
こ
not
ろ
very、far behind.
こちらも、まあ、例に漏れず、
The fighter versus magician choice
例に漏れずサマーセールの対象商品となっておりまして、
is
まあ、
magician
980円のところ490円で買えるということですね。
500 there. So if you'd like fighter over magician,
BGM がいいらしいので、僕はじゃあ BGM について話をしましょう
that
か。
one there. Another very close bid war here is the hero name in Dragon Warrior 3. Currently leading it is Command, with Waluigi in second and Arby's in third. In addition to those incentives that you're putting your donations towards, any donations you make during the marathon, if the total is $150 or more over the course of the whole marathon, you'll be entered to win a wonderful bundle of modern gaming consoles and a great gaming
スピー
PC.
ドランも見てみま
You
す
can
か。
find the details on our website at gamesdonequick.com. Additionally, any bids of $10 will enter you to win the Enter the Gungeon bundle right now, as well as any donations of $25 or more will get you entered to win the NISA limited edition bundle. So, great prizes available to win for people who donate.
2%。オールレベルニューゲームプラス。これかな。
Speaking of, Debonair donates $25 and says MSF is
2
a
人、
great
あ、レー
charity
ス
with
な
a
んですね。
great cause. Will not lose this chance to donate for awesome prizes as well.
2位の人と3位の人のレースみたいですね。あ、そうですね。ドネットの説明が、今回のこのイベントの説明を、SGDQ のイベントの説明をですね、軽くさせていただきます。SGDQ はですね、アメリカで行われている RTA、スピードランのチャリティーイベントとなっておりまして、ドネートなどで集まったお金を今回は国境なき医師団の方に寄付しております。でですね、日本からですとドネートの方法が少し難しいので、そういった方の場合は、イエティというサイトで T シャツを購入することができまして、その T シャツを買うことで間接的に、募金をすることができます。他にもですね、本家のゲームザンクイックの方をツイッチの方でサブスクライブすることでも、間接的に寄付することができます。で、イエティで T シャツを買うときの注意点なんですが、T シャツのサイズがアメリカサイズとなっておりますので、買うときは基本的にワンサイズ小さめの普段自分が着ているサイズからですね、ワンサイズ小さいサイズを買っていただくと、おそらくちょうどいい感じになりますかね。普段 L サイズを買っている方であれば、M サイズを買っていただくと。日本からの注文でも普通に届きますが、注文してからだいたい1、2ヶ月ほどラグがあります、届くまでに。そんなことを言っていたら、始まりそうですね。今ちょっと練習中っぽいですけど。そうですね、失敗してる方が何人かいらっしゃいますね。僕も前回 L サイズ、普段 L サイズを着てるんですが、まあ1個小さいサイズを買ったんですが、まだちょっとでかかったっていう。送料は確か、そんなに大きな値段はかからなかったと思いますね。 いくらだかちょっと覚えてないですけど、そんなに高い値段はかからなかったですね。
Quick restart R? Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
ということで、始まりそうですね。
Alright.
Alright, I'll give it 3, 2, 1, go.
はい、始まりました。
Alright. So this is Dustforce. This is a momentum platformer. The objective of this game is to go around the levels and clean all of the dust as fast as you can. And this category is any percent, all levels, new game plus. Essentially, it's the any percent of this game. Instead of collecting all the dust, the runners are just going to race to the end of the level.
最初はチュートリアル的な感じですかね。
Yeah, and they'll start with all of the levels unlocked. So you'll see them go into the Nexus after the tutorials, and they'll just go into the levels as fast as they can.
奏者の方2人ともすごいもうキーボードの操作が激しすぎて腕の動きがすごいな。
In the bottom left, you'll see a meter, and every time you collect dust, that meter will increase. When it reaches 100, it'll fill up, and you can use a super attack, which clears everything in a certain radius. So they're actually going to quickly farm to by hitting a set of large prisms here.
いい感じにレースしてますね、今のところ。
Through the wall, you can see it barely the top right. It's that group of prisms up there.
2つ同時に壊すとか。
Attacks in this game. There are light attacks and heavy attacks. And the light attacks can only destroy small prisms, and the heavy attacks can only destroy large prisms. Other enemies in this game have health. The light attacks do 1 damage, and the heavy attacks do 3.
So the major thing introduced in this level is going to be the types of boosting.
世界観がちょっといまいちよくわかんないんですけど。
Whenever you hit a surface at the correct angle,
キーボードっぽいですね、2
you'll
人
get all your vertical speed transferred into horizontal speed. And that's what they're doing here.
片方、すごいなんか多分青軸使ってるのかわかんないですけど、キーボードの音がすごい。お、T シャツ買った方がいる。今回送料8ドルですらしいです。だいたいまあ800円ちょっとぐらい。BGM についてはちょっと語れないですね。キーボードの打鍵音が BGM みたいになってますね、今のところ。ちょっと僕のところには、ちょっとゲーム音が一切届いてませんね。僕の耳には。キーボードの打鍵音がいい感じに BGM になってる。打鍵音について、多分おそらく片方青軸使ってる方がいらっしゃると思うんですよね。青軸のキーボードを。
That saves quite a bit of time, as well as he saves a lot of time by virtue of just having really great jumps.
近所に友達がいればですけどね。
You'll see them use attacks to collect dust that's not necessarily in their path. Normally in SS you use this a lot, but in any percent its uses are mostly centered around collecting dust, so that they can have exactly enough to do super at the end here.
移動が早すぎて。
This trigger has a bear and 4 turkeys, so it takes quite a while to clear normally, but a super cleans them up pretty fast.
Just because I don't think we mentioned this yet, SS being the main other category there's 2 ranks you get at the end of each level, and the max
少し差がついたと思ったらまた縮まってる。
SS is the score category that this is not what this is.
Right, SS, to get an SS you need to not die and you need to get all the dust in a level, so it's a lot more about just completing levels consistently, whereas this is much more about optimizing movement. If you want to watch an SSL run, there was one done at SGDQ 2 years ago, I believe, by Savade.
2016, yeah.
Yeah, it was a great run. Shoutouts to Savade, he's a great guy.
Yeah. So yeah, Dahlia, you get to show off using the range of the characters. They're trying to place their attacks as far as they can, and once they attack an enemy, they actually get their air charge back, which allows them to then do another action really quickly. And so that's a big part of optimization in any percent, is choosing when to attack enemies to get air charges versus just taking the slower option and using less air charges.
Yeah, even here you'll notice even though a lot of this level is very flat, they'll go out of their way to go for boosts, mainly the ground boosts other than the slopes. And this is because in this game, it's really important to make sure you're going over max run speed. Otherwise, you're honestly not doing the levels that quickly. And here's a first spike jump in the run. You can jump off spikes that are 45 degrees by buffering a jump and holding down.
Yeah, there's not really much to it. It's not that very difficult, but extremely useful. And this is Kid, our final character that we haven't seen yet. Kid is unique in that she has multiple air charges. which allows her to do some pretty intense movement. In this Nexus, she actually is the only character capable of doing this movement, which saves quite a bit of time getting to Night Temple.
そうですね。この操作を40分、まあ45分ぐらい続けるとしたら、相当忙しいあれですよね。ということで、ですね、解説ではないんですが、この本家配信の、通訳をしてくださる方がまたいらっしゃってくれました。お願いします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。コーラと申します。途中からですいませんけど、翻訳頑張ります。
お願いします。
そうですね、先ほどのキャラクターの紫色の女の子なんですけど、多段ジャンプができるとのことでしたね。
Talking about character choices, you'd oftentimes pick man or girl, which is the red or the blue or red character, in levels that have a lot of boosts like this because they fall the fastest.
キャラクター選びなんですけど、基本的には赤か青のキャラクターを選ぶです。理由としては落下スピードが速いからです。
A huge amount. Yeah, it's pretty unfair for every other character.
They can't even come close to competing with Dustforth. He's like several seconds ahead of all the other characters.
Yeah. And again, this is one of the levels where you're going to see them pick up dust along the way, even though they're really not trying to clear all the dust. They just want just enough at the end to be able to super. Yeah. So they route in just enough to be able to do that special attack and try to get nothing else because it wastes more time.
で、このゲーム掃除をするゲームなんですけど、本 RTA では、ゲージ貯める必要な分だけと言います。
And this is our first clip. You'll see Fish mashing jump to get through this clip. Ooh, fell down.
怪しい挙動をし始めましたね。
そうですね。あ、かぶり系ですね。
And you can actually pick different characters to get through this clip. Every character can do it.
Yeah. So coming up, we have our first combat level. It's just a small level with a lot of enemies, and you just have to clear them all to continue. So you'll see there are porcupines, and the porcupines shoot quills. And what happens is,
右側なんですけど、これは戦闘のステージで、まあ全員倒すとクリアとなります。
So a lot of routing centers around making sure you deflect quills well.
Oh, I got it.
No. Oh man, I had challenged Fresh to try to get a sub 8 with Dust Kid, which would be he's pretty much one of the people to ever have done it. So trying to do it in a run is pretty nuts.
Yeah. Here's runes, and you'll notice that they're actually playing different characters. This is one of the levels that more than one character actually is competitive at the top level.
Yeah. You'll even in the top 10, which is typically we have a leaderboard system in this game. This is one of the few levels where you see multiple characters in the top 10.
Yeah.
And that actually might be a good time to bring up the leaderboard system in general. This game has an extremely active IL community, and that is largely due to the in-game leaderboard, which is extremely comprehensive. There's a great replay system, so whenever you submit a run, you can actually watch that replay later.
このゲームには、ランキング表みたいなのがありまして、もうこのゲーム、競技性が実は高いので、しかも、いろいろ便利なんですね。例えば、トッププレイヤーのリプレイヤーも見ることができます。
開発側がタイムアタックをやってくれっていう。
そんなもんですね。どのキャラを使うとか、そういうのも分かるらしいです。
It's very hard to get a super in that level without spending extra time. And here you'll see the two players are going to go over the level. A lot of these levels are pretty expansive, and sometimes they hide secrets above them, but in cases like this, it's actually faster to take these alternative routes.
Yeah.
このゲームには、隠しルートってなりまして、さっき取りましたけど、まあ、それを取った方が早い場面もあります。
Yeah, there's a bit of a skill for, but once you achieve movement like these two players have, it's incredibly satisfying even just to move around. And now we go straight into Mansion. So the first hub was Forest. This will be, well, I guess the first hub was tutorials, but this is now the Mansion. So the levels are going to get easier again because we're at the early parts.
So something you just saw there from Fish, and you're going to see a lot more in the run, is he queued up a heavy attack and then exited the level before it was actually done. What happens when you exit the level is
右側で見た感じですけど、強攻撃する直前にこうやってステージを出るんですけど、それ実際攻撃を行わなくても、実際になったことになって、短縮できます。
Yeah, done optimally, it's 18 frames, which is about a third of a second.
Yeah, and over the course of 75 levels, that adds up for sure to almost
20-ish seconds.
Yeah.
It can be a little dangerous though, because if you queue up an early exit, there's no way to cancel it. So if you queue it up and then you miss the attack, you just have to do the entire level over because there's no way to get your progress back.
だいぶ並んできましたね。
ただ、はい。たださっきのテクニックはちょっと危ないこともありまして、攻撃する前に出てしまうと、実質その面をやり直すことになったので。
Oftentimes when you actually watch these runs, they lose time and game time in the various places, so it's pretty cool.
Something else worth noting is that we have gone through a couple different character choices from them, but something else that needs to be taken into account is even if a character is an optimal on a level, they have to consider the nexus movement after the level, because if there's movement to get to a different level that's easier with the character, they still might pick that character instead.
You'll see that come up in a bit after Ghost Parapets.
キャラクターは当然最適な場所もあるんですけど、そのキャラクターでしか行けない場所もありまして、多少タイムをロスして、そのルートを取ることを優先する方がいい場合もあります。
Oh, we never actually introduced ourselves.
Oh yeah, we can do a roll call real quick. So the runners right now in the lead is Fresh barely in Night Hall, and the other runner with Fish. I'm TMC.
I'm Fims.
I'm Bob.
Yep.
We've all played this game a pretty large amount. Fish and Fresh obviously the most, but I think everyone here is at least 1,500 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Too many.
Probably.
奏者の、今2人でやってる奏者の、平均のプレイ時間、平均っていうの、プレイ時間は150時間とのことです。
Close. Closer than you might presume.
Alright, so you'll see a death warp here on Fresh's screen. He's going to go up and trigger a checkpoint and then go back down to the start. And he's going to actually fall through a death zone and his dead body will trigger a checkpoint further down.
Yeah, so the reason you have to do that, it seems kind of like pointless movement at the beginning, is because for some reason, if you hit a death zone without hitting a checkpoint first, the game's physics will just stop and it'll just immediately restart the level. But if you hit a checkpoint first, it'll slow down like it does with an early exit, and so your corpse is still falling and it can hit a checkpoint for you.
さっきテクニックをお見せしたんですけど、死ぬ前にチェックポイント取ってから死ぬと、その死体が、次の場所へ移動するようで、そうですね、短縮できますね。
A death costs, I believe, 55 frames.
55 frames.
Yeah, which is a little bit less than a second. So, oftentimes, if the time save is less than 55 frames, we don't go for it. And this game is optimized where we do think about saving a handful.
左がかなり有利ですね。
So a lot of the levels in Mansion are pretty long and they play kind of gray like they look. But even though a lot of them are really just kind of flat ground, they need to consider their movement and keep boost as long as they can. Part of one of the great aspects of being a super competitive platformer is that there is tons of room for movement optimization, even on levels that are just flat ground, because of ground boost, and that's where them really introducing a lot of
掃除行って掃除したら次行けるってことですかね。
お掃除してることはまあわかります。埃なり枯れ葉なりを集めて。
So this level doesn't have really any music. The mansion is pretty long, so maybe you have time to read a donation.
Yeah, we got $100 that says, "Hey, Dust Friends, Metalama here. I'm so happy you guys get to show off this incredible game at this amazing marathon. I wish I could be there to give you support in person. Good luck on the blind slope drop in Yada."
Good joke.
Thanks, Metal.
Thank you, Metal.
You guys are gonna go for that, right?
Doubtful.
Well, you go for us. I'll do it if you do it.
Ooh. Well, you guys can make that decision when we get there. We have a couple minutes.
Stun or die. Ooh. Yep. They are very close right now. few seconds separating them, and that's easily just a mistake or two.
So right side, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah. So this is what he's talking about is the strat at the end of this level. So a lot of the strats are not necessarily hard, although this one is. But hold on, let's see if Fresh gets this. Oh. But yeah, let's see if Fish does.
Barely.
Both runners missing it. That is like I said, like we said, a very.
今、壁越しで倒そうとしましたけど、両方とも失敗してしまいましたね。
The difficulty in this game sometimes in the runs comes from how punishing mistakes are rather than how difficult things are to execute.
Yeah, a lot of this category is measuring risk reward and trying to like minimize risk but maximize rewards out of things.
So a lot of times when runners will talk about what strats they go for, they'll say, well, if I fail it, I lose this much, and if I get it, I save this much, and I get it this often, you know, like a min-max.
この RTA は常にリスクと安定を取る選択を
Yeah, this is another level that's quite long. I think this is the longest level except for the last level in the run, which is a little over a minute. This run is barely under a minute. So
pretty recently, actually, I think, right?
It's been under a minute for quite a while.
Was it under a minute with Dustforce?
Yes.
I think so.
There's a 57, I think.
Yeah. It's been that way since I've played the game, so.
Yeah.
And Cavern's yet another level where they get to go over.
Right.
This level, it's kind of interesting boosting over the top. The geometry is very, very bizarre at the top of this. It would be not the kind of thing that you would normally have to boost over.
だいぶ右が巻き返しましたね。
So like when you actually try to go fast in this level, it's quite difficult. It's not as easy as they make it look.
And despite being actually such a different route than going through the level normally, it's actually only a little bit faster, maybe a couple seconds. And there used to be a top 10 time, I believe, going through.
Yeah. It's
赤い子と青い子は多分見た感じ性別が違うことしかわかんないですね。
So this level has a lot of books in it. There are enemies that are pretty annoying because they tend to follow you around and try to hit you. So a lot of times you'll see them attack them like that just to get them out of the way because otherwise they'll just lose time getting hit by them.
この面の敵はちょっと自発的に攻撃することがあるので、攻撃を入れてちょっとスタンスすることを
One of the big factors for those books is actually ledge cancels, which we haven't talked about. Basically, whenever you come over a ledge in this game, you can actually dash down immediately to, as long as you've gone over the platform, you can dash down into it, and then immediately dash forward or perform another action.
Right. If you actually don't do that when you climb over, there's this sort of slow animation where the character will pop up over the ledge and then land again, which is quite slow.
おじいちゃんは掃除
Talking
機
about
持
time
っ
save
て
that
る。
adds up. Ledge cancels is definitely one of the
このゲーム、崖には専用アニメーションがあるんですけど、ダッシュなどでキャンセルができまして、かなりスムーズに移動することができます。
There is a ledge cancel histogram which tells you how many frames each ledge cancel was. And so now they're both runners are now out of mansion and going into city. City is Fish's favorite beginning of
緑で掃除機持ってるおじいちゃんは幽霊退治してる可能性ありますね。
Early exits are fun, they look cool.
Yeah.
And you can fall downstairs.
That was a very good boost.
I like how both runners decided to take the stairs instead of taking the slope.
Yeah, and upcoming we'll have a bunch of really quick levels actually, you'll see.
Yeah.
And landfill clip coming up right next level.
Yeah.
Right. So we talked about clips with Grass Cave, and that was just the way the wall was shaped. You can clip through it. What they're going to do now is, the next level is, there will be a dust block slope. And actually if they light attack it or heavy attack it in a certain way, you can reveal this sort of awkward geometry that has no collision and just clip through the level. And you'll see they got it.
壁抜きですね、これは。原理はさっき説明してましたけど、うまく翻訳できません。すいませんでした。
So one of the dangers with that level is even if you
壁の中でステージが終わる。
or where the end of the level is.
まあそんな。
壁の中でステージが終わってしまう。
And if you go too far away from the camera, you just unload, and then you have to restart no matter what.
Yep.
And it's funny because that clip looks really flashy and cool, but it only saves like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but everybody does it too. Yeah, it's pretty funny. And it's funny, multiple characters can do it. It's even harder for other characters to get that clip to work and be able to make it to the end. But you choose Dust Cave.
さっきの壁抜きなんですけど、その紫の幼女が一番やりやすいとのことで、全キャラ一応いけることですね。
And where warehouse will end the early part of city. We talked about tiers of levels. They went through all the open and wood key levels of this hub first because it's just fastest. After this section, they'll be entering some of the hardest levels. The silver keys and gold keys in city are extremely difficult. It's like basically a straight 5 or so minutes of intense execution. So this will be a pretty...
Yeah, this is where the nerves really start to kick in on good pace.
Yeah.
Yep. And we haven't really mentioned, but the soundtrack for this game is absolutely amazing. It's by Lifeforms. And the game itself is also, I mean, of course, we love this game. And how it
looks awesome.
ここかなり神経使うとのことです。
こんなゲーム、RTA をやってたらすごいもう検証炎になりそう。
そうですね。45分も指回しです。
並びましたね。ここに来て。
並びました。ミスがちょっと痛かったですね。
Could have a quick donation to this for rooftops?
Yeah. $20 from Firestorm22. Hey, Fish and Fresh. Awesome to see you guys here. So excited to Dustforce and to see this awesome race. Love you guys and good luck.
Thank you, Firestorm.
Thanks, Firestorm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shout out to the Dustforce Discord. I know you're all listening right now and probably now making a lot of noise. This game has a really awesome community. Aside from just playing the game really fast and doing ILs, there's also a great map-making community for this game. This game has an awesome in-game map-making engine.
Alright, here's a tough level. There is no checkpoint in this level, so you gotta one-shot it.
この面はチェックポイントないのでかなり慎重に進みます。
Not Luffy approved. Not Luffy approved, guys. Shout outs to
ちょっと目を離した
one
の
of
か。
the retired players who
左が追い抜いていた。
almost, yeah, he did have every world
Yeah,
record on a
at
level.
one point, he had every IL world record in this game.
Which is nuts. There are so many. That's 150 world records. In what is a pretty competitive game.
Yeah.
But that also, I guess, shows you how deep the skill ceiling for this game is. And really,
聞いた話だとこれ150種類の世界記録があるようで、まあそれぐらいこのゲームは競技性とまあ上達性も高いということですね。
Doing a lot of the task work and optimizing, even sometimes coming up with creative strats and then finding out ways for humans to execute them, or like questionable ways for humans to execute them in like the case of
奥が深そうな。
そうですね。
So we talked about spike jumps.
かなり奥が深いと思い
Fresh
ます。
did something a little while ago called a spike stand.
I'm coming up to it now.
Oh yeah, so Fish is about to do it. So basically, it's not the same as a spike jump. You're not buffering a jump, but there's just a small place where basically the spikes don't exist, and you can just stand on it.
さっき見たようにトゲのある面の角に実は判定がなくてそこにリストラルを取ってきます。
It's called Hideout. It's very intimidating at first. You'll see it is coated in spikes. But actually, this is probably one of the favorites of most players once you get into the game.
これだけ競技数があるってことは、やっぱり人が少ない競技もあるわけなんで。
It really takes advantage of the momentum. One of the traps in this level is that
そこで世界ランカーを目指すというのも。
But actually, the best way to deal with it is to let your momentum carry you, and it plays incredibly smoothly.
Fish, that was an amazing alleyway. That was an amazing alleyway.
Trash can raining from the sky.
Normally they shoot trash bags, the garbage cans, but Fish actually made the garbage can himself rain from the sky.
Alright, and now Fresh... actually, there are 2 more levels, sorry.
Yeah, City is one of the levels where one of the hubs where the SS route and the any % route are kind of different. Sometimes they wind up being pretty similar. What's different about City is that you actually wind up doing these 2 silver key levels. Normally you'd need to beat the silver key levels in SS to be able to beat the gold keys because you need to unlock them. But since they're doing any %, they have the liberty to do the levels out of order.
この面、この街の面ですね、2% と、まあ、その、多分100% かなんかの、ルートが違うんです。2% がもっと当然自由があって、
Should also be noted, Freshmaniac take a slightly different route here. We play these levels in reverse order, or opposite order from each other.
Yeah. There are a few places where the Nexus route differs for these two runners. This is one of two. I don't know if you guys do city in this difficulties in the same order, but the other big major route difference is
ここで、2つの走者のルートが変わります。それぞれのルート行きます。
ここからは多分、終わるまでどっちが有利なのかが少し分かりにくくなりそうですね。
Yeah, there are just so many levels where you can lose time, and especially since at this point you're really nervous. By the time you get to the difficulties, you're just it's exhausting because of all of the technical things you need to do.
Yeah, there's very little downtime during this run. Just levels come after one after another.
Yeah. And that's actually pretty true for this entire game. One of the difficulties of speedrunning this game is the fact that there is basically no downtime. Because of early exits and Nexus movement, you're constantly doing something, which is a good thing for running because it's very rewarding, but it's also
ゲームの欠点っていうのは、ご存知の通り、止めるところがないんですよ。常に操作するっていう感じですね。休憩がないんです。
So right now, the lab might not look too intimidating because they're doing all the early, unlocked and wood key doors. But the later gold levels and the silver key lab levels are particularly hard. They're just not very friendly. Either don't have checkpoints or are just.
よくよく見てみたら左下に多分その各ステージのタイムが出てます。ステージに入った時から。
But I have world record on this stage and only this stage.
This is baby.
But yeah, so the levels may not look too difficult, but what's actually the difficult part is that there's extremely punishing mistakes to make. For example, dropping some of the boosts and bats will lose you like immeasurable amounts of time. Missing the jump at the start of
このステージは簡単そうに見えますけど、少しのミスをしたらかなりのタイムロスになって、実はかなり難しいとのことです。
It's up there.
Yeah, that's really good.
You might spark an argument with that opinion.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna. People can hit me up on Discord about it after the run. Don't worry.
Light pollution.
Talk to me about cider time.
Sun bleach.
That's how good the OST of this game is, though. Like we will legit have arguments about what songs are the best because they're all so good. Yeah.
Yeah, here's another example of a punishing mistake. Fish is on security, and if you actually miss the super on the bear, you actually lose, I think, like 4 or 5 seconds.
どのステージもほとんど簡単そうに見えない。
Can be really pretty huge time loss.
そうですね。
I think we probably have time for another donation right now.
Yeah. All right, we got $10 from Scryas. Best of luck fishing fresh. Been a while since I've gotten to run Dustforce, but we'll always support it at GDQs. Crush it, guys. Also have $75 from Junior Mints. Shoutouts to TMC on the couch for convincing me to watch Dustforce and donate instead of going to the gym. Best of luck on the run.
This guy's priorities straight.
Hey, I never said that you had to do that instead of going to the gym. I'm going to point that out.
I could work out to this.
Yeah, right? This game's got a good rhythm.
So right now, Fresh is heading into wiring, which is another one of the levels where the devs kind of just gave another route over top of the level. But the punishing thing about this is that there are no checkpoints.
左側の入った面は、上に、本来下に落ちるんですけど、上の方に隠しルートがありまして、今そこを取ってますね。
But these players are so good that they'll still go for boost setups and try to get enough height to get good boosts, even though there are spikes that will cost them like 10 seconds if they hit.
Here's another pretty infamous level for its difficulty for new players, backup shift. It's actually pretty hard to complete even for your first time, not even not dying or getting all the dust, just because of its weird shape and how many.
で、このルートはまあとてつもなく難しいことで、まあこの走者はすごく上手いので難なく突破できます。
Option to go around things, but the things that they can optimize are pretty interesting. And the best example of that is actually the top of this level, which Fresh is about to get to. They're actually going to time spike jumps and then dash to time another spike jump. And that is really, really difficult. So it's very impressive they got it first try.
Yeah, so something that needs to be said about that is you specifically have to
さっきのなんか上下に置いたやつはタイミングとかはかなりシビアで見事一発でクリアできたです。
Here's another combat level. You get hit a lot to get your super. Let's see. This happens again later in lab, actually.
That was a very good containment. That was probably 15th, I would guess, the best containment.
So the level Fresh is going into right now, they have very differing routes and strats for this. Fresh is just going to beeline it to the end of the level and take out the bear at the end. When Fish gets to it, you'll see him do something very different. He's going to farm super like Fresh did on containment and then try to take out the bear from the other side.
今左側にいたマップは、それぞれのルートがありまして、まあ、そのルートの違いを見るのは多分できます。
It can be very difficult, so not all the runners do it yet. But I think eventually we'll get to the point where everybody has to do this. And it looks like Fish got it.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice.
So, ILing in this game, like full game runs, I mean, it's essentially a string of ILs with a Nexus movement in between. So more often than not, you'll see the runners actually go for basically, I mean, world record strats on a lot of the levels, or competitive strats. So it's actually very difficult, and I mean, you just gotta go fast. So
yeah, every strat is not trivial, honestly.
Yeah, you'll see a divergence in their routes now. Fish is going to Dome early. Fresh will actually do it as the last level, but Fish's route saves a little bit of time. But it means you have to enter and exit Dome rather than simply enter, and you can waste a lot of time if you miss this boost. It's pretty difficult.
Yeah, as soon as you die in the Nexus, you've already lost the time your route saves.
That was a very, very good any percent no difficulties from Fresh. He's on. Oh wait, sorry. I thought, my bad. I thought he ended on Core Temple.
Never mind, Fresh. Your pace is bad.
Yeah, your pace is bad. No, honestly, I was looking at the pace. I was like, that's impossible. Okay, I'm glad that was not actually the case.
It's a good run, though.
It is a good run still.
Have time for a donation?
Yeah, another donation.
Yeah, I got $50 from Pinnacle Gym. Good. Got to donate for Freshmaniac during Dustforce. We've also got $150 from Strategism. Hello, Dust fam. Here's $1 for every level that'll be dusted today by Freshmaniac and the Dirty Rotten Pinky Dasher.
Wow.
Wow.
I use two fingers, thank you.
I guess we never really talked about that, but the default control scheme for this game has the dash button, which you use all the time on Pinky. So some people stick with it, and they're heathens.
Some people are wrong.
Yeah.
Some people even play with gamepads instead of.
ですね、このゲーム、デフォルトだとダッシュボタンが小指を使うことになりまして、その小指が痛いということがよくあるそうです。
Yeah.
Although both of these guys use keyboard, there are still plenty of people who use controller.
I actually started using controller, and then I switched after like 200 hours.
So Fresh is heading into the difficulties. You'll see why this hub is called that in a sec. It's not really hard to explain.
Yeah, every level here is pretty much not trivial. There are a bunch of really, really tight sections and lots of places that you can die by making even like the tiniest mistake.
この面はディフィカルトと言われてますけど、まあ単純に難しいからですね。これは特殊ステージかなんかでしょうか。
You'll see it on Fresh's screen. He gets pretty close to some spikes.
Yeah, it's
なんとなく終盤に差し掛かってきた感が出てきました。
そうですね。
That strat is extremely difficult.
あら。
So we'll see if he gets it second try. Nice.
You also see him twice there. He kind of like he climbs over some spikes. That's not necessarily a glitch or anything. It's just kind of a weird way the game is.
これはそうなんですね。トゲの間に通ろうとしたんですね。
The bottom left quadrant of your character just doesn't have a thing that checks for spikes for some reason. So you can kind of abuse that by lining up that area of your body with the spikes and jumping off of it.
The difficulties can also serve as an equalizer in races like this. Like Fresh entered the difficulties quite a bit ahead, but because of the Giga, now they're pretty close. This route is actually very different from the IL setting.
ですね。レース的には、左の方が速く見えますけど、右の方はちょっとゲージの関係で実は結構接戦です。
But so it's actually very difficult to get in that gap. I think it's a 3-pixel window.
Shout out to Fish doing it with an adjustment.
Nice, yeah.
That's
but that setup you saw where they mashed light was actually found by Twinkie. Shout out to him.
I'm not sure if that counted.
It did, yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Oh no!
Get up there.
Not the Nexus movement.
All
right. So this is the second to last level. The final level of the run is called Yada Difficult, and it's a compilation level basically of all the sort of.
この面はもう最終から2番目の
lives up to that.
Over a minute long in any percent and just under 2 in SS. So.
Yeah, I think because this race is actually pretty close and because the last level is pretty intense, we're just gonna not really say much.
Yeah, we're gonna let the racers play it out because it's probably gonna come down to the wire.
Yep.
で本気の方の最終面はかなり難しいとの方で、ゆっくり静かに見てほしいと。
First try, nice.
Wow.
First try from both runners, that's insane.
Is it close?
さっきのトゲ落下、両方とも成功しましたね。
Get up there.
We're just coming up on the final climb here.
Climb's gonna be soon.
Nice.
見終わりました。
And time.
That's right.
で両方とも終わりましたね。かなり接戦でしたね。
そうですね。10秒も差がない。5秒ぐらいですかね。
5秒差ですね。
Thank you for not beating me with so I got to appear on the top 10 on the final level.
割とミスが多発しそうなゲームで5秒差って相当すごいですね。
いや、かなりやばいですね、これ。何より走者の手が心配です。
やってる最中に釣ったりしてもおかしくないですからね。
Yeah, and I think before I started really preparing for this, I had maybe like a 36-24, maybe even higher than that. So,
yeah,
this was a great race.
All right. Hey, thanks guys.
That's Dustforce.
It's on sale.
Yeah,
pick it up.
Go
pick it up
get
on Steam. Join the Discord.
今セール中なんで、ぜひとも買ってください。
What a race within 5 seconds of each other. All right, looks like it's time for a quick break. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
To いうことで、これでダストフォース終わりですね。で、次が、なんて読むんだろう、これ。
アクシオムバージですかね。
アクシオムバージ。ちょっと聞いたことがないですね。
僕でよければ、人がいなければ、そのゲームの翻訳もお任せしてよろしいでしょうか。
やっていただけると助かります。
では引き続きよろしくお願いします。
お願いします。解説の方がいらっしゃるっぽいですね。
はい。じゃあでは僕はこれでいいかな。
Alrighty, you're watching Games Done Quick. We're gonna throw it over to an interview with
ありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。また次の機会に。
また、はい、お願いします。
Oh, hi. Okay. We were just talking about Proto Man's scarf's color and whether or not that suggests whether he's an edgy boy. Anyways, hi, Summer Games Done Quick. My name is Proto Magical Girl, and I'm here with the Blacktastic, lead of the hashtag Just Call Me Bobby movement.
Yeah, just call me Bobby. Like, seriously.
Call him Bobby. So, Bobby is going to be running Mega Man 9's Proto Man mode coming up later tonight after Axiom Verge and then the Mega Man 6 race. So, how are you feeling?
That's about it. No, that's, I'm super excited, super nervous. I mean, like, what more could you feel before going up on that grand stage? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So I know you have quite a long history with this game, you know, leading all the way back to our time in the like Mega Man 9 Speedrunners Skype group, long before the era of Discord. So can you talk a little bit about your kind of journey with this game?
It all started probably back about 10 years ago when the game first released. Oh, happy 10-year anniversary, Mega Man 9, by the way. It's such a good casual game, and like the fact that I was able to kind of grow up with it as it released, and then keep putting those stipulations and circumstances on myself, like, hey, I could probably beat this in like a faster time than yesterday, and the day after that. And it wasn't until I actually started streaming in 2014 that I realized that there was like a huge community for just classic Mega Man in general. And it was not until like, I met, those people that were actually, really ended up turning to be really good friends and ended up being driving forces to having me, get better and, kind of put this game on the map.
Very, very nice. So,
アクションバージはプレイ済みなんで、多分時間が45分になってるんで、ストーリーテキストのないモードでプレイするものと思われるんですが、とりあえず、手に入るものの解説なんかをしていけたらいいかな。
Well, the short answer is none the more confident.
今、Steam ページで見ているはいるんですけど、なんか、おどろおどろしいというか、ちょっと不気味な感じはします。
そうですね。クトゥルフ神話なんとか HR ギーガーみたいな世界観をモチーフにしてるものと思われます。
声小さめ、わかりました。ちょっと待ってください。
小さい。
あ、こっちで変わる。
昨日の録画を見たらちょっと自分の声がでかすぎたんで若干こっちの方で小さくしたんですけど。
Does that come into play when you're speedrunning and especially when you're playing Proto Man?
Oh, I feel like it always does. When it comes to the competitive fighting game scene, like we are a really kind of really underground, really like grassroots, really loud sort of like community. So when it comes to like being on that stage, and like whenever you're up against like a match, like say like you're up against like Justin Wong in a death bracket or something like that. It takes a certain type of mentality and a certain type of mindset to like put yourself into to keep yourself focused and make sure that you're not dropping anything, you're not just messing up in the long run. And especially when it comes to like running events, it takes a certain type of mentality to kind of deal with any sort of circumstance and any sort of like malfunctions or something that might happen your way. It's a perfect bit of balance to both that kind of like has it translate well between that speedrunning and FGC.
もうちょっと上げた方が
That's really interesting. How do you feel, I guess you mentioned kind of like mechanical precision and focus being an important part.
はい。やっぱりバイク音声のバランスって難しいですよね。どうしても人によって差は出てくるんで。
Is something that you had to adapt to as you're kind of sitting in front of like a TV for 30 minutes or an hour, however long your speed run is. But I feel like it pretty much boils down to like the same kind of mindset of keeping focused, being I like to say tilt proof, so that whatever does happen, you just kind of like roll with it or bounce back from it. Like you always got to keep these little contingency plans in mind.
Yeah, so if you've never heard the term, tilt is a term in speedrunning and competitive gaming communities that essentially is like
ちなみに次のアクションバージョンなんですけど、例によって、サマーセール中なんで、今は990円で購入できます。日本語化対応は一応されてるんですけど、極端に質がいい翻訳ではあまりないような気がする。まあ、最低限プレイはできるような感じです。ちょっと専門用語が多いゲームなんで。
It's definitely going to be the very last level in the game, Wily 4. So you have a extreme gauntlet of bosses. You have the boss refights, and in the same stage, you also have all three versions, all three bosses of Wily. You have to make sure that you have the right amount of weapon energy in order to kind of coast through all the refights, and also for one of the phases of Wily's weaknesses, and also the fact that one of the caveats to running Proto Man is that you do suffer double the damage, and you do take double the knockback when suffering an enemy attack, as opposed to the original Mega Man mode. So, in that little bit of the heat of the moment, you could mess up. You could easily get half of your life, taken away by just with body contact. So, it takes a certain level of focus to coast through that pretty nicely.
Very interesting. Our next question, I really like this one, comes from Lori Bunnykins, who asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how useful is the Proto Shield in the run? So a little bit of context. In the Proto Man mode, Proto Man has his shield. Whenever you're walking and not firing a weapon, Proto Man shields out and will deflect some shots that come in
今回のイベントはですね、アメリカで行われている RTA のチャリティーイベントとなっておりまして、こちらの今回のドネートなどの寄付で集められた寄付は、国境なき医師団の方に全て寄付されます。で、日本からのドネートが少し難しくなっておりますので、少しでも協力したいという方はですね、下の方にありますリンクからイエティというサイトで T シャツを購入することができまして、そこで T シャツを買ったり、あと GDQ、ゲームズダンクイックの本家の配信の方のツイッチの、サブスクライブをすることで間接的に寄付することができます。イエティの T シャツを買う際の注意なのですが、基本的に表記のサイズがアメリカサイズとなっておりますので、購入する際はいつも自分が着ているサイズのワンサイズ下のサイズを買うとちょうど良くなるかと思います。そんなところですかね。
はい。今、コベラ見てたら、全部一人の人間で作ったゲームだけって書いてすがあったんですけど、まあそうですね、トーマス・ハープさんっていう方が、一人で4年ぐらいだったかな、開発期間で作られたゲームですね。まだインタビューが挟まってるんで、あれですけど。
All right, so I have one more question for you. In an hour and a half, you're reaching the end of your run. You're going to be getting face to face with the Wily Casino in Mega Man 9.
あれですみたいな、まあ結構方向性は違いますけどね、このゲームと東方だったら。
The house always wins.
Indeed. Well, I'm going to be wishing for the best for you. That's all we have today. Please keep watching and donating. Be sure to check the tracker on gamesdonequick.com, where you can find information about upcoming incentives and bid wars and prizes. One incentive I do want to talk about is the Mega Man X2 Buster only incentive. That still has a good another $7,000–8,000 to go. That run's really cool, and Darrenville is really talented. You get to see what happens when you take away a Mega Man speedrunner's tools. And frankly, we Mega Man runners like our tools, so we'll see. That's all for over here. Thank you so much for coming out for an interview.
Thank you as well.
And best of luck with your run.
Thank you.
Thank you, Proto Magical Girl and the Blacktastic, for that interview. You are watching Summer Games Done Quick, raising money for Doctors Without Borders. We've got a $25 donation from Wolf and Wares that says, had to donate during Dustforce. I remember when this game came out, and the musician who made the OST, Lifeform, has been my all-time fave musician ever since. Shout out to a wonderfully made game, an inspiring soundtrack, and the awesome runners playing it at this event. We've got $20 from Phenomenon. Does the winner of Dustforce race get a chance to sweep the venue after the marathon? They're certainly qualified for the task. $25 from Locala. Have to donate to get that MMX2 run. They are referring to the bonus game incentive for Mega Man X2, which we're starting to run out of time on. If you want to get that game into the marathon, we need to get that $25,000 goal met. Currently at a little over 16,000. So make sure to put your donations in for that game if you'd like to get it run in the marathon. These tunes here from Mega Man X2. My apologies, that's from Axiom Verge, which will be the game coming up here, run by G-Virus, followed by Mega Man 6 and Mega Man 9. Lots of great runs coming up in the marathon here. $20 from Protoan. It's great to see Fish and Fresh race Dustforce. We couldn't ask for better representatives of the community. Agreed. $25 from Date Night. Awesome game for an awesome cause. $25 from Mason196. My favorite part of the summer, can't wait for the Mega Man block, but I need some of that Mega Man X2 to happen, so this $25 goes towards that incentive. $50 from Jim154. Can't believe it's already SGDQ time. I'm busy moving most of this week, but trying to watch when I can. Good luck to all the runners. $25 from J Enduro. After a hard day at work, it's great to relax and watch SGDQ. Donating to save the animals so the marathon lasts just a little bit longer. $150 from Valisasha. Been watching the show for a few years now, and each run keeps getting better and better. Keep up the good work. Kill the frames, save the animals. If anyone is wondering what donators are talking about with killing the animals or saving the animals, it's a long-running traditional bid incentive for the game Super Metroid. At the very end, the runners have the option to either rescue the cute, friendly animals or kill them because it's a little bit faster if we let them die. $25 from Fire Thanatos. So glad I could catch SGDQ live. $10 from Red Mage Riot. I was trying to hold off my donation until Cuphead on Wednesday, but how can I not show up for more Mega Man? Let's get that bonus X2 run. $25 from DePatman89. I always enjoy the races, since I get multiple chances to see the best tricks being performed. $10 from Wesley42. Compassion should not have any borders, so this donation is to support the good doctors that volunteer their time and energy to such a selfless and noble cause. A little bit more about the charity we are supporting with this event. Doctors Without Borders is a medical humanitarian organization that works in over 60 countries across the world. They're a private international association. They provide assistance to populations in distress, victims of man-made or natural disasters, as well as victims of armed conflict.